now I've lost my chat. Okay, I want this to be really interactive. So, you know, if you want to ask any questions as I'm going through, if you're a little bit confused, please ask the question, because there's nothing silly about asking the question, because if you're thinking it, someone else might be thinking it. Sounds okay, great. Thank you, Pina. And I really want you to be able to walk away with some clarity tonight from this training. I've opened up the energetic for all the energetics for the live calls now. So let's start playing with magic when it comes to money and abundance. So I asked the girls earlier what area of their life that they are looking to up level, create abundance and stuff like that. And do you know what area that you're going to be working on in this, through this program? Money. Love it. Show me the money, show me the money. Kelly, what are you doing? You can keep it private and just direct me. So I love and fun. Okay, and Pina. Health and wealth. Love it. Okay, cool. That's great. It's good to know that we've got some clarity and we know where we're going. So tonight I'm going to talk to you, and I haven't really discussed this very much with any of you, is the different laws. Okay, so you know when we do the meditation and we go up and we go through, you know, the bright lights and the dark lights and bloody blah, then we go into that golden light. So the golden light is where the angels and the ascended masters are. And then we hit that rainbow of colors. Okay, so do you remember when we take you through the rainbow of colors, we experience all the beautiful colors, and then we hit the pink mist. Okay, so do you remember that? So when we hit the rainbow of colors, that's basically us going through to the sixth plane, which is the laws of the universe. So we have loads of different laws. We have like the law of gravity, we have the law of cause and effect, we have the law of color, we have law of energy, we also have the law of attraction. Now, you all have heard of the law of attraction. I'm sure you have. Let me know. So we have the law of attraction. We also have the law of time. Okay. We also have the law of motion. And we also have the law of upgrading. Okay, so have you heard of those? No. Okay. You would have heard of like the law of karma, which is basically the law of cause and effect. So it's like that law of cause and effect is like something like getting a tennis ball and throwing it against a wall, it's going to come back to you. Okay, so that is law of a cause of cause and effect. So the laws are really, really interesting to work with and play around with. So, you know, some of you have heard of like law of attraction. So it's a simple arithmetic that you can only grow, only to what extent that you grow to. Okay. Actually, I need to just edit that. The law of time. The only difference between a rich person and a poor person is how they use their time. I always think that that's a great analogy of what the law of time can be used for. We've also got the law of motion. So law of motion is quite interesting, that the law of motion states that once in motion, always in motion. So sometimes it's hard to put the brakes on, or you need to use a lot of energy to put brakes on. But once you start something and you start creating momentum and motion, then it has like a cause and effect to it. What's really interesting is I think I put it in, did I put it in Divine Connection? In one of the programs, I put in the domino effect. There's a really good little snippet on YouTube. I might actually put it in this one after this video. and it's called the domino effect. So just a bite size of a little bit of an action, a little action can actually have a great big impact further down the line. And what they do is that they have all these different sized dominoes lining up. So the small one, and then like as they flip it down, all the bigger ones. So this little one, the motion of that can actually end up, I think they worked it out that they could knock down the Leaning Tower of Pisa by so many dominoes, the domino effect. So, you know, by just taking some small action each and every day, you tap into that law of motion. So by doing little things, you know, each day, it's going to create a bigger impact. And then we've got the law of upgrading. So where you are now and where do you desire to be? So, you know, I'll talk more in depth around these in the next few slides and how we can use the laws to our benefit. Now, everyone can use the laws of the universe. You're not special if you can or you can't, okay? The laws of the universe are open to everyone. Everyone is worthy of using the laws, but we don't understand sometimes that we can use all the different laws to our advantage. So let's talk upgrading. So in the portal, there's going to be an area where we look at decluttering. So why do we declutter? So there's a couple of reasons. It starts to take that law of motion and start to make action and upgrades. Basically really helps us to release the old of where we are and where we desire to be. So, you know, you can upgrade, up level, grow, evolve, you know, you can't stop that because it's law of motion, but it's up to you how you desire to move forward and upgrade and evolve and grow. So what we look at, and that's why we get you to do that life wheel assessment, is where you are now and where you desire to be. So by looking at different areas of your life sector, then you can decide of where you want to up level and where you want to grow and where you want to upgrade. So that's why we sometimes always mark things from a scale of 1 to 10 so that you can actually see where you're upgrading and up leveling. One thing that I will sort of say to everyone is that you really need to tap into the why do you desire the upgrade. So I'm going to just say to Anne, why do you desire to work on money, more money? Why do you want to upgrade your money? Because it's really important that we have the why, because when we have a very strong why, that's going to help us go through like the energetic resistance and the energetic upgrades and the self-sabotaging. Okay, so when you have that big why, that's what's going to help you like quantum jump into your upgrades. Why? Because I want to create more more freedom lifestyle for my family, more travel, more freedom. Yeah, so you've got a very strong why you desire to do it, and that why has to feel like it's pulling you. Okay, and you're using that law of motion and momentum to help you like go through some of the challenges that we have to go through in order to get to that upgrade and that up level. The other thing that we need to look at is releasing shame, guilty feelings, and fear of creating that upgrade. And stuff comes up, energetic stuff comes up around the feeling of like shame, guilty feelings, and fear. So we need to release them and really like focus on our why to let us pull us through those upgrades. Some of the questions that I feel that would be good to answer while you're doing these upgrades, your big why, is understanding what the high level frequency that you already have in your life. So where in your life do you have really good upgrades? Okay, you can put that in your chat. So what that looks at is, you know, where okay, let's use me as an example. So I know, I mean, I do have a really nice car. My car is, I always have an upgraded car, a nice car. Okay. Same with my husband. That's important to us. But then some of the low level frequencies where I could upgrade, and I don't have, I could laugh now, is my laptop and my computer. Okay, so that definitely needs like an upgrade and an up level. So sometimes what we need to do is we need to go through our life and look at what do we have that's already upgraded and what don't we have that's upgraded. Now, when we talk about upgrades, it's not about the cost of things, it's about how it makes you feel. Does it make you feel like you're living an upgrade in your life? So, you know, like if you take a phone, for instance, you know, it might be that you want the latest fandangled Apple phone, okay? But it might be that you prefer something of a lesser value of cost, but actually it really makes you feel good because it takes really good pictures, it has this, that other type of scenario to it that actually makes you feel like you're living an abundant and upgraded life. Does that sort of make sense? Because what I want you to do is to start looking at where in the areas of your life that you feel lesser of, where you don't feel upgraded. How does that make you feel? Okay, so when you tap into like some of the stuff that you have that makes you feel upgraded or elite or platinum, however you want to say it, or feel amazing. Like if you take your clothes, for instance, sometimes we have some beautiful clothes, but we don't wear them. I mean, I used to be one of these people. I have beautiful clothes, and I don't spend fortunes on my clothes, but I wouldn't wear them all day, all the time. Okay, and then I got to the point where is actually by wearing my old tracky dackies all the time, actually it doesn't make me feel great. It makes me feel quite low vibe. So what I do now is I always make sure that what makes me feel upgraded is to wear color. Does that make sense? So really start to look at where you are living an upgraded life and where you're not. And how does it make you feel? And then I really want you to look at decluttering your low level frequencies where you don't feel like you're living upgrade. So it could be, you know, that you want to start wearing your decent clothes all the time. Underwear is a big thing. You know, when I did personal styling and image work, it's amazing how many women, when we went to go and shopping for them and dress them, how long it's been since they had a good bra fitting. You know, they might go and you know, spend more money on some really expensive clothes that sit on the outside, but actually they haven't got the undergarments that look great. So really look at in your life, whatever sector you're working on, where are you feeling low level and where are you feeling upgraded? And the questions you want to ask yourself is, why do you still hold on to them? Why are you holding on to those low level frequencies? How does it affect me? And really what's quite interesting is when you look at what's your attachment to this. It was really interesting doing a lot of image consultancy work, because when I did wardrobe decluttering, this was very interesting when you look at what's your attachment to things, especially items of clothing and things like that. And what do you get out of it? What am I learning by holding on to it? My levels come up. Yes, so you're carrying beliefs and programs, or you're allowing her to, you know, give you that chatter. Yeah. So it's time to let that go, Anne, isn't it? But the questions are, you know, sometimes we hold on to it because we don't know why we hold on to it. So when you ask ourselves the question, why am I holding on to it? What's my attachment to this? And what am I getting out of it? What's the kickback? What's the benefit? and what am I learning? When you understand from those like 4 questions, when you get that aha moment, that, oh, okay, that's why. So for me, I'll use me as an example of, I had similar things with my mum. When I worked out why am I still holding on to it, I asked those questions. It was like, okay, actually what I'm doing is the reverse of me with my daughter. So it taught me to be a better mum, basically to learn image consultancy and body shape and understanding, so that I could empower my daughter. But in the process, I also, because of what I went through, switched it around of how it made me then have that energy and that frequency of me being able to help empower other women. So it taught me empowerment. So when I learned the lesson of, oh, actually, what I went through, I could resonate, I could understand, I could sympathize, I could have compassion for other women. And that actually made me then go down the empowerment and the healing to lead me to where I am now. So with learning that, I was able to go, okay, actually, it was in some ways a bit of a twisted reality in, it's actually got me to the person I am today. And one of the things that I've put in the portal is a documentary to watch on Netflix, and it's called I'm Not Your Guru. It's by Tony Robbins. Has anyone watched that? I watched it a couple of weeks ago and I was crying. It really got me emotional. And it's about Tony Robbins talking about this scenario of he was emotionally and verbally abused by his mother, but he said, what I went through has made me the person I am today, because I now can help others. And like the realizations and how he speaks about it and how he's empowered himself to go through those lessons is now, you know, really brought him into the person he is today and what he's here to do and help. It's really quite fascinating. And it's literally just asking yourself sometimes some of these questions in why am I holding on to it? Why is it affecting me? And what am I learning? And what am I getting out of this? Because sometimes we hold on to this stuff because it actually in some ways gives us a kickback. Does that make sense to anyone, or does it resonate? Because once we've learned the lesson and the realization of, okay, this is why, it just makes it just disappears, it just melts away, it just goes. So upgrading is just part of evolution and growth, and we should never ever feel guilty about wanting to upgrade and wanting to better ourselves. It's just a natural evolution. Okay, the next one, the law of motion. So throughout this program, I'm going to talk to you about mindset, I'm going to talk to you about energetics, and I'm going to talk to you about action. And I spoke about this in the masterclass, the abundance masterclass the other week. And when you have mindset, energy, and action brought together, this is where it creates quantum jumps. And I have a lot of people ask me, Claire, how have you managed to go from here to here in such a short space of time? It's because I've learned mindset, energetics, and action. And you have to work all three, because that is how you get the law of motion working. So I'm going to ask you tonight, as you go through each like module and things, always ask yourself, what's my mindset, what's my energetics, and what's my action? Everything needs 1, 2, and 3. So law of motion, what do you need to start doing to get the ball rolling? So, Anne, you're working on money. Tina, you're working on health and wealth. And Kelly, you're working on love and fun. What do you need to start getting that ball rolling? What do you need to do? You know, like we all know, the answers are within us. So sometimes it can be looking at the past. Okay, so that's releasing things like resentments, rejections, doing core cutting, forgiveness work. What are you committing to do? So, we can look at creating vision boards. We can, manifest on 111. It is 10:11 tonight. I did like giggle when I saw the date, when I put it out there, but we have to take action. We can change our mindset, we can change our energy, but unless we take action, it ain't happening. Okay, in all fairness, it isn't happening. So I'm going to invite you, okay, over by the end of tonight, I want you to give me, what are you committing to do, okay, to take action to get that ball rolling in what your true desires are. Okay, so helping you create motion is to do a vision board. And the reason why we look at doing that is because you've got a clear goal and a focus right in front of you. So, that's why they say put your vision board where you see it every single day, or you look at it, because it's putting your goals, your vision, your mission right in front of you. When you're seeing it all the time, your mind goes to action. What am I going to do? What am I committing to get that upgrade, that life that I so truly desire, and I'm worthy of having it? So things like money tracking, that's getting things into motion, because what you're doing with money tracking is that you're seeing the abundance coming in. So you can track money, you can track most things really. Okay, money loves a purpose and loves attention. All right, so the more that you pander to money, the more the abundance comes in. Okay, so what I invite you to do is to look at opening up different bank accounts, because different bank accounts creates different purpose. Okay, so have any of you read The Barefoot Investor or seen him on the TV? Oh, no. He's quite interesting. I actually did meet him Christmas time last year. And I met him in Espresso in Melbourne. Yeah, I don't think he was very impressed with me, because I said, oh, you're like the Jamie Oliver version of money. And his face sort of dropped, and I thought, okay, I shouldn't have said that to you, but that's how I see him. Okay, the other book that's really good to read is called The Richest Man in Babylon. Have you heard that? I have put it in the book recommendations. Nope. So I read The Richest Man in Babylon a few months ago, and it's very similar to what Barefoot talks about. It's basically opening up different bank accounts, because money loves a purpose. If you split your bank accounts, okay, what you're doing is that you're putting energy and focus onto growing wealth in different areas. And the bank accounts that you try and have, and I have this, I have a business account, I have my pink account, I have a black account, I have my tax account, and I have my give back account. So I have 5 different accounts. I would recommend that you try and get accounts that actually don't cost you anything. So I actually use the NAB, because their accounts don't give you bank charges on that. So what I do is I put a certain percentage into each account. There's another book that's really good. So if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, the other book is called Profit First. Has anyone read that? There's Profit First, there's Richest Man in Babylon, and Barefoot. No. Okay, we've got lots of reading to do, to do. And basically, if I go back to The Richest Man in Babylon, The Richest Man in Babylon book is an ancient old book around how to create wealth. And what this guy in Babylon did was that everything that he earned, he put 10% away, and then he made that money have money babies, grow money. And that's how he basically learned to become the richest man in Babylon. And then he started teaching others how to do it. And it's quite interesting reading the book, but it comes back to very similar to how Profit First works and how the Barefoot Investor does it. And there's a couple of energetic reasons why this is actually quite a good thing to do. So I've written down save, spend, invest, and give. Okay. And when we talk about learning the laws and law of attraction and the secret and manifesting this and that, there's one thing that they don't actually teach you, and that is the give back. Okay. So when I spoke about earlier about the law of cause and effect, you know, throwing the ball out and it coming back, when you put out there what your desires are, the biggest way of creating your manifestations and getting back what you desire is basically, what are you prepared to do in order to have that desire met? Okay, what are you prepared to do in order to have that desire met? When you put out there, you do your vision board, all of this like woo-woo stuff, the biggest key is, what are you prepared to give back in order to receive that? Okay, I'm just going to let that like marinate into your brain cells. Okay, are you with me? Because it's working with the law of cause and effect. That everything is energy. So if you're asking for energy, if you're asking for money, money is an energy. If you're asking for love, if you're asking for fun and joy, it's an energy. It means you want to receive it. So if you want to receive it, what are you prepared to give back or release in order to receive? Are you with me so far? Because it's not all, we want it to be all about me, but actually that's not how one of the laws works. Are you with me? Pop it in the chat. I'm letting you in on all my secrets, my juicy secrets of how I've managed to work this out and put it all together. Yeah, think about that more. And throughout the program, you know, your brain can only literally absorb so much. So for instance, I'll give you an example, Kelly. So I played around with this a lot last year, okay, pretty much last year. And what I did was, I always wanted to hit a certain income level within my business, okay? But when I kept saying, oh, this level, and I was really sort of working in my masculine to achieve that. And it's hard, like it can be done, like hustle and grind. It can be done. I was working long hours. I missed a lot of time with my kids. And, you know, my health wasn't that great because, you know, I was burning out to hit that income level. And then I learned a lot of this, and I was like, right, how can I do this easier? And it was like, okay, what if, you know, I've got save, spend, invest, give, okay, the law of cause and effect. And I was like working it all out. And I thought, what if instead of me saying, I want to hit a certain income level, what about if I had it as I wanted it as, How much impact can I make for somebody else? So then I started saying, instead of like earning 100,000, what if I could help transform 100 women this year? Didn't matter how I needed to help them transform, whether it was through this service, this service, this service, or this service. So having that propelled my business so much more, so much faster, and it was a lot easier doing it that way. So what that sent out to the universe is actually Claire wants to help 100 women transform. Who needs to be transformed? And then the people just came. Rather than me saying, I need to get this, this, and this because of this, it was like a totally different spin on it. And it was really, really rewarding doing it from that way. So if you actually look at my website, there's a bit at the bottom on it that will say, Claire's mission and vision is to help 1 million women transform. So I have it like that. So I don't do it from a figure monetary. The money will come because if I'm helping women, I get paid. But it's a different energy frequency that I'm working towards. Okay, it elevates me and it brings in from a different frequency. Does that make sense? To reply. Yes, heart-led. Yes, totally heart-led. Yeah. It's like moving from into the heart and being of service. And when I say being of service, it's different to like playing out the slave girl archetype, because that's what I used to play out as. Yeah. So by putting it into the different accounts, so abundance comes in. Okay, I'm helping transform this person. The abundance comes in. Okay, they come in to my energy. I'm helping them transform. They actually pay me because that's what the agreement would be. And then that energy, that agreement, that money gets split into spend, save, invest, and give. So money thrives on being put in different places. So the savings, the spending, the enjoyment, the fun, okay, because money wants you to have fun, the investment, okay, so wherever you need to invest, whether it's in yourself, whether it's in your business, whether it's in property, whatever, okay, so invest. And then there's a small portion that feels energetically aligned to you to give back, because you've received. What are you going to give? So it's that law of cause and effect. So I'll give you an example. So like for me, what I do is when I declutter, and let's face it, I move a hell of a lot and I declutter a lot. What I do is I look at thinking, oh yeah, I'll put that on eBay, see if I can sell it. If I don't sell it, that's fine. It goes to the charity shop. I'm a big person for giving stuff to the charity shop because I feel like that's my give back. What I receive, okay, I've enjoyed it, and then I pass it on for someone else to love it, and then the charity shop benefits it from it as well. And I do give certain amounts each year to a charity, and I do have things set up. This is just me. I have things set up in place of a charity that the Cleft Lip and Palate Society, that's very close to my heart, because they're the ones that help my son Rory. So when you are looking at receiving, but also giving with it, giving and receiving, you're creating that energy vortex, and that's the law of motion. So you're always, okay, creating motion. You're always creating flow, in and out, in and out. Okay, like law of motion, we are never going to stop law of motion because the earth is always going round, isn't it? But does that, I know that sometimes that's a bit of a hard concept to like get your head round, and you might want to watch this a few times to understand it, but we'll just keep going over it and we'll just keep immersing into it. And the other thing that's quite interesting, Have you ever heard of the power of compounding? So compounding is a bit like, you know, when you put your money into super and then your money makes money, and like shares and investments and things like that. So that is what, a bit like what the richest man in Babylon did. Okay, he started tapping into the power of compounding. So always make sure that you're creating your motion, your flow of abundance. So sometimes, you know, when abundance stops, energetically stops, it's because this law of motion feels like it's starting to dry up. You need to look at, what do I need to do to get this motion going, this flow going? It's like that scenario. I don't know if you ever heard of it. You know, it's like the buses. There's none for hours, and they all come along at once. Have you heard that saying? That happens all the time with everything. Okay. So I'm going to get you to commit. I'm going to get you to commit and take action. So what are you this week going to level up in? What are you going to let go? And what are you doing to level up? Now, whatever area you're working in, so if you're working in the health sector, it might be, you know, are you looking, I've actually used some of these as my example with some of these. So better quality water and to drink it, okay? So rather than just the tap water on my vision board, okay, so where I want to up level in my health, I've come to one level, now I'm ready to go up to another level, is that I'm looking at getting a really good water filter for the kitchen. Okay, could you level up, upgrade in better supplements and vitamins? Okay. So I never used to spend money on supplements and vitamins, but I can feel the difference in taking them. Okay, new computer for your business. That's me. That's where I'm going to level up next. Okay, get an accountant or a bookkeeper. So if you're working with time as an area, because time is an abundant area, where can you make new time for yourself? Okay, this will resonate with someone. And actually, I'm looking at changing my accountant and bookkeeper. Okay, where are you energetically leaking? Okay, this is also important. Where do you leak your energy? That's quite a key one. So go through your things, like if you're working on money, go through your bank accounts and see where you have money leakage. I do this probably at least 2 to 3 times a year. I did a lot of this in January, February time, and I went through my bank accounts and I worked out what stuff and my business accounts, what was I paying for, where could I save money. One of it was changing my booking system over. Anne and I have spoken a few times about different programs that could work, that actually were cheaper in money. I also unsubscribed. So look where your subscriptions are going out. I had 2 Netflix accounts because Rory had set one up. So that went, I was paying for 2. I also was paying for Disney Plus and Prime, and we never used Disney Plus or Prime, so I took them off. So even just like a small amount can have like quite a dramatic impact in your abundance levels. Because if your money likes attention, if you're just letting it just filter out, it's like, oh well, she's not that bothered about it. She's not that bothered about keeping it. So why should I bring her more? She's not really paying attention to me. With money, the key thing is with money, which is quite interesting, is really look at money as a person. Okay, this is quite interesting, and we can have fun and games with this later on in the program, but treat it like a relationship. So how would you treat your relationship if you're not like paying attention to it, loving it, talking to it. Okay, just leaving it laying around. So I was decluttering the other day in the pantry, getting ready to pack for the move, and I just pulled this tub down, and as I pulled it down, there was all these coins. I actually put it in the Facebook group, and I was like, okay, this is great. I knew it was my money, but it was just left there on the top shelf. That's not energetically great. So I've put it all together, and it's going down the bank, and it's going to go in my pink account. Okay, because I found it. Finders keepers. So see where you're leaking money. So that's one of the things that you could look to do this week. So health, it might be maybe you want to go a bit more upgrade and go more organic on your groceries. If you're looking at more love and joy, okay, more intimacy and things like that, go for a massage, go for a pedicure, get someone to touch your feet, okay. Hire a cleaner. If you're working on time, hire a cleaner. If you're looking at health, you know, maybe hiring a personal trainer or getting a nap where you're going to do some exercise. Also, what would be good for spiritual development and well-being is what new boundaries do you need to level up on? Okay, so as we grow and evolve, our values change and our boundaries change. We look to become more confident, we look to become a little bit braver. So new boundaries is, you know, like, what are you prepared to tolerate and what you're not prepared to tolerate anymore? Okay, you could be looking at something like that. When we talk about up leveling, it doesn't always mean about spending money. It's like looking at, you know, like energetics of, you know, your boundaries and what you will and what won't tolerate and things like that. It doesn't always have to mean money, spending money. Maybe start wearing your good clothes again. Go to bed earlier. Do a meditation each night, not each night, each night, spelled that wrong. Decluttering and doing your gratitude. What are going to be your new standards of upgrades? Yeah, I need to change the, if I can put it in, upgrades. So I want you to write in your chat, what are you leveling up this week? What are you saying? What are you committing to? When you write it in the chat, you've energetically put it out there. So I'm going to commit to my new boundaries. I feel like that's a good one for me this week. I feel like I'm ready to do that. Leaking money, probably could look at a little bit along those lines, reassess, go through what my outgoings are, where I could energetically see where that goes. And maybe start researching an accountant or bookkeeper. I've got 2 in mind. Might be asking Kelly. So come on then, put in the chat. What are you going to upgrade? What are you going to let go of, and what are you upgrading this week? Let me know. I'm going to commit to auditing where I'm leaking money. Great. I'm going to commit to more self-care and charging my worth. I'm going to let go of clients who don't align with me. Wow. Fabulous. Okay, I'm going to be checking in. That feels very strong and powerful, Anne. It feels like you're like, no, I'm on it. This is it. I'm drawing the line in the sand, and this is my new standard. Okay, Kelly, Pina, what are you going to do? It feels like, Anne, you're going to take your power back. I could think of a few, Kelly. Wear my good clothes and do my research on bookkeeping and plus to continue declutter. Maybe that's a private conversation. Oh, okay. So what does bring you love and fun? Do you like watching comedy? Go with a girlfriend to a comedy club? Yeah. Okay, we're definitely going to have fun with David the Queen. So we're definitely going to do that. My friends. Going to a concert on Saturday night. Great. Okay, so what's going to make you, okay, so you're going to have fun. What's going to make you feel loved on? Maybe take yourself on a date. I mean, I quite like having a massage because I like that. Okay. Massage is an osteo. Okay. What about facial? Come on, Peanut Ann, you might be able to give us some ideas as well. Something different. Okay. Yes, facials are very nice. Right, you're going to book yourself a facial. I shall buy myself some flowers. Okay, perfect. That feels romantic and it feels like it's hitting your love zone. Okay, law of attraction. Let's talk a little bit about this one. So where you desire to be is beyond your comfort zone. Giving back to me. Yes, great. Making you a priority. That's right. And it lifts your soul as well. So where you desire to be is beyond your comfort zone. Okay, so you can see the lady here with the little pink ball. She's in a comfort zone. It's all pink and lovely, but she desires this. This is her vision board. This is her manifestation. Okay, so she desires the love, the relationship. She desires more money, you know, a beautiful holiday, a home, self-care, relaxing, you know, an upgrade in furniture, whatever, and a trip to paradise. Okay. I think we could all have that vision board, couldn't we, quite easily? Okay, but the secret is when you're doing vision boards and stuff like that and your manifestation and things like that, it's not like getting a great big fishing rod and throwing it out there and getting it hooked and then reeling it back in. Okay, that never happens. Okay, in our mind, that's how we see it, how it should play out. But actually what happens and what happens to have is that we have to become this. Okay, are you with me? We have to go there, not pull that into us. Okay, does that make sense? So the way that we get to there, from here to there, is that we follow the baby steps. We take action, we create momentum, we start to change, evolve and grow to be that person that slots into that. Does that make sense? Are you with me? So we're going to put her there now. Yes. And what we do is we call it a vibrational match. So if everything is energy, okay, we don't see it as us. We see us as an energy bubble, and we see all that as an energy bubble. We have to change our energy and frequency to become exactly the same as that. We need to grow and evolve and change our energy. And the way we change our energy is a few ways. We change it through mindset, through energetics, and through action. So we become a match to what we desire. And there's a few quick ways to do it. And we talk about quantum jumping. Have you heard of quantum jumping? I know some of you have. I mean, you guys have known me a while. So quantum jumping is really starting to take you rapidly into that. And what we do is we work on your mindset, your energetics, and your action to get you to that desired outcome. Now, sometimes some people can just literally jump within an instant. And sometimes some people have to sort of go a little bit along the way to become that match. Does that make sense? So sometimes it's mindset work. Sometimes it's changing your energy and your frequency, and then it's creating the action. So the action is really down to you. That's why I got you to write in the chat what action you're going to take, what you're committed to in order to get into the desired outcome. Okay, so mindset stuff is what I can help you with. Okay, but you can do some of your own mindset stuff. Okay, because I really believe that I am here to help empower you to find the stories, find the programs, find the mindset challenges and change them. And there's a few ways that you can do it. And by changing them, when I spoke about the Abundance Masterclass, there was a few different ways of how you can change your own mindset and beliefs. And it's this slide here. It's by having theta healing sessions. Yeah. And you've already experienced that. It's doing the 55 by 5 statements. So that's writing out a new positive mindset 55 times over 5 days. Okay. Forgiveness work is another way of clearing and resetting your mindset. Meditation. Okay. So in your portal, you have different meditations to help you go into that theta brain state so that the meditations can help change those limiting beliefs. There's tapping, all right? So that's the tap, 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 tap here, okay, karate chop, and under here, and there's some here. So tapping, EFT, emotional freedom technique, that helps to shift and change beliefs as well. Positive affirmations and journaling helps to release, okay? So I'm not saying all of those are going to be what you go to. There's going to be a few key things that you will think, okay, I'm going to try the tapping on this, or I'm going to try the forgiveness meditation, or I'm going to do meditation around it. You will be naturally drawn to one of those things to help empower you to create those changes. But also, like, you've got 2 sessions in with this program to help, so I can help you release stuff as well. Okay. Let me go back now. Where am I? Okay. So you need to raise your energy and your vibration. Raising your energy is things like changing your physiology. So when you're feeling like low vibe in the body, what do? We drink more water. We start to look at what we're eating. We take supplements. We look at going out in nature, taking some exercise, music. There's lots of different ways to change your energy and frequency so that we can lift you from the pink, okay, into the green dot. Are you with me? Are you getting me? So by doing some forgiveness work, so if you want to work on money, the quickest area to release the old programs and the stories is doing past work and doing forgiveness. Because when you forgive, and it's not about like forgiving literally that person, it's more about forgiving yourself. And some of the things that actually stop us moving from pink dot into green dot, okay, is a few things, a few limiting stories that we tell ourselves. And it's the fear and it's normally fears. It's fears of growing and changing and leaving others behind. It happened in a healing session today with one of my clients. She was like, I really fear like if I change, I haven't got anyone around me. And it was the fear of not belonging. Because we're all humans, we crave connection. And, you know, with the last few years of what's happened to us being in lockdown, we sometimes crave connection even more. So that can actually keep us stuck. So we hold on to the connections that we've got. Sometimes we can't actually envisage the future version of us, okay? And as women, we go through different stages in our life. You know, we have 4 key stages. We have us as children, us as the maiden, us as the mother, and us as the wise woman. And a lot of women struggle at different checkpoints along that way. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, when I stepped from maiden into mother, I really struggled. So that's when you get things like postnatal depression that comes up and things like that. And then, you know, I made a conscious mindset decision of me going into menopause and moving into that wise woman. I just, this is the best time of my life. I'm going to breeze through menopause. I'm not going to have any symptoms. This is going to be good. This is going to be fun. This is my time to shine. So I really installed all those positive downloads into me, knowing that, okay, this is my time to shine. I'm moving into that wise woman. I'm loving this time of my life. But a lot of women struggle from moving from mother into wise woman. And this is where, and it's normally around that time of hitting a menopause time, because literally you hit menopause, don't you? So you're not fertile anymore. So you are literally leaving the mother behind and stepping into the wise woman. And around that time is normally menopause, the children leave home and things like that. So, you know, I'm actually in that cycle at this moment in time. And some women either embrace it or they really resist it. And that's where they can sometimes have that identity of, well, who's that future version of me? What am I here to do? What am I? And you start sometimes asking you those questions come up. So it's really key, if you are in that sort of limbo energy, okay, we're not creating motion and momentum, is to really start to think, what do I desire to step into? Okay, so things like vision boarding, future versions of you, like envisioning that through meditation, and really like enjoy and embrace what you want to become and embrace. So that's quite an interesting one. And sometimes not being able to see it actually keeps us stuck and holds us back. So we have that energy of like, we want to move forward, we want to change, we want to grow and evolve, but actually the fear of doing that, because I can't really see what's available for me. Does that make sense? I'm tuning into someone here, whether it's here or whether it's on the replay. And the other thing that we fear moving forward is whether we're going to be rejected as we move forward. So if we move into that version of the green life, the beautiful green life, who's there for me to connect with? Am I gonna resonate with those new people? Who am I going to connect with? Will they reject me? Will I be accepted? So sometimes, you know, in our mind, we're like, no, I won't feel like that. But in our subconscious, because it's our subconscious that runs a lot, 90% of everything, it's our subconscious, keeping our subconscious safe, that stops us moving forward. Okay. So we've got to blow it all up. We've got to blow those stories and those beliefs up. Okay, law of time. So sometimes moving forward into this beautiful green, let's call it the green life, okay, what we desire, we put resistance on it. And sometimes we blame time. We blame either time or we blame money. Those are normally the 2 main things that stop us moving forward. Now, who's always said, or blamed time as their scapegoat for creating change. And you say it sometimes, you're like, well, I haven't got time. No, I haven't got time at the moment to take that on. No, I haven't got time. I haven't got time to work on myself. I haven't got time to go and exercise. Okay, so who blames time? We all do it. And it's an easy way to create energetic resistance. I don't actually blame time so much now, because I'm actually quite savvy in working smarter, not harder. And I think that comes back to my days of being a hairdresser, and really understanding how to block time out and work to a time schedule. Okay, I do run overtime and I talk loads, but I'm quite savvy at making my time back. One thing I do blame, okay, that holds me back, and I allow it to, is I say, I haven't got the money to do that. And I've done that a lot over the years. Okay, can't afford to do that. Can't afford to do that for myself. Okay, so who's blamed time and who's blamed money? I'd love to know. So once again, you know, where are you leaking time? Where are you leaking money? Where can you claim back your time? Where can you claim back your money? One thing that I will say is that with everything that you do, like personal self-development, let's call it this, is give yourself permission for it to be easy. At every stage, to say, I'm giving myself permission for it to be easy. This is going to be easy. I can do this. The other thing is, what I love about doing this type of work is that we can bend time. We can get there faster by quantum jumping and embodying the future version of you into the now. And we can code it into you every day to make it your new normal. So what do I mean by that? I mean this. So by doing the mindset changes, the energetics, and taking